begin playback of a disc, turn the player power on, place the disc on the spindle. Use the play button to start. Disc vision that you be the boss. Now I'd like to show you some of the valuable things your MCA disc vision system lets you do. Most persons find it more convenient. Gently pull up as you press down on the center shaft with your thumb. You'll hear a click. Simply plug one jack into this outlet. How about that? Pretty easy, isn't it? This red light comes on. Simply press stop. Now, after I've stopped the action, you're going to practice using these buttons. The DiscoVision player gives you many special capabilities. Stop, play, slow, forward and reverse.
Alrighty. I love these retro music mixes. I'm so happy that the guy let me license them so we can use them on our streams. Alright, so if you guys are just coming over here from the Hender 5 Plus PSU test, I did throw those away. No one asked if they can have them. I wouldn't wish these upon my worst enemy. I do, however, have something that I should have given away on another stream that I didn't. Let's see here. Where's my Nightbot login? Does this still work? That's the question. Pop out chat. There we go. So, if you guys watched, I'm going to turn this down. My fill light is a little intense there. A little much when I have my night mode on. As you can see, I'm very festive. Hang on. Let's make it fancier here. There we go. Yeah. So, sleep is for the weak, Steve Smith. So I have the ABL kit here that I built on the DIY stream that I forgot to give away on that stream. So, hey, it's 1,000 subscribers out of the video. I haven't seen you in a while. Nice camera setup, thanks. I actually upgraded. Can you guys tell? Like, can you guys tell that I changed my main camera here? I'm liking it. I don't know if I like $600 like it, because that's what it ended up costing me. But I'm gonna keep it because it does work really well. I guess I do like it, $600 like it, because I actually was tempted to buy another one to replace my Brio, which is what I'm using for my ARM camera. This is a great webcam, by the way. The Logitech Brio is a great webcam. But like this, the focus works like look at this. Look at that. It focused. And it's 1080p 60. So, yeah, it's a Sony a6000, which is weird because they still sell this model. And it's like 5 years old. But they still sell it. I went in Best Buy and I actually bought this open box. It was like $540, I want to say. And then I got the Elgato Stream, or no, the Elgato Cam Link, which is what I'm feeding the video in. And I like it. Like look how nice. Like I'm still pulling 60 FPS off the sensor in a low light environment. I'm pretty sure if I turn this off, I turn my fill light off, like still smooth, still very smooth. Versus like, here's my Logitech. Like the Logitech's not bad, okay, but if I turn the light off, RIP my frame rate. Like it's not terrible, but so this is what I was using before. And you see it's not terrible, but here's a Logitech. Here's a Sony. Big difference there. Let's see if the Logitech actually works decently when I have the fill light on. Let's see. Arm camera. It's better, but way different. Whole different animal. There's my printers there. There's a Woody I pulled it off of. So anyways, yeah, I'm liking this setup. This is really bright though. So I think I'm gonna give that away. Let me log into my Nightbot account here, because I promised I would give it away and I keep forgetting to. And you guys saw I tested. So this is a direct wire type setup. Okay. So what that means is you got a 3-pin JST for the Z end stop. So for like your Creality machines, TiVo, GTEC, and then you're gonna pull power from your printer power supply. We're gonna focus. There we go. I got a little too close here. So yeah, this is the kit I put together to show you guys how to build these. And this was the predecessor to the EasyABL Pro. They still work great. These are still faster than most other people's kits on the market. Most people are using 60 to 80 hertz sensors. These are 100. So let me see here. You guys better be getting some questions for me here, because that's the point of this stream. Oh, Nightbot has a thing where my regulars and my supporters, so people that are regulars on the channel here, can get more luck. Interesting. Samsung what number? Huh? What are you talking about? Yeah, like I can literally... Let's see if we get other people join in. I might as well show you some funny things here. Oh no, this is a Sony. Sony a6000 is what I'm using right here. And that's a Logitech Brio as my secondary. Sounds a little scummy. Fine. I'm regulars and supporters get no extra luck. How's that? Let's see here. How do you fix thermistor issue as brought up in the last video? It sounds like he fried the input on the board, so he's probably gonna have to replace his board. And I would recommend replacing the hot end, not necessarily the metal parts of the hot end, but new thermistor and new heater cartridge just to be safe. And check all the wiring, because here's the thing: when you get a board that is reading a high temperature, even when it shouldn't, it's usually because 12 to 24 volts or any voltage higher than whatever the I/O pins run at, so 3.3 or 5, depending on what CPU's on there. If you send, even for a split second, too much voltage in, it's going to screw up the circuitry and possibly the I/O pin on the processor. And if it doesn't fry it, it's just going to screw it up so it doesn't read correctly. So, just got my Ender 3 Pro. We'll be getting the easy feel goodies from you this week. And what are some things you recommend? Thanks for all the great vids. Well, thank you for watching. Don't upgrade it. Use it stock for at least 2 to 3 weeks. At least get to learn the printer. Don't buy it and then go balls to the wall with the upgrades. Use it stock, suffer through it, learn the printer, learn the machine, okay? The only thing I will recommend you do right out of the box is flash the bootloader and upgrade to our firmware. That's it. Right out of the gate, that's it. Also, we are going to be running Black Friday deals in a couple of weeks here, or a week. I don't know. We're doing Black Friday stuff, and I can tell you right now, we're going to have Easy ABL kits, the 3.1s and the Pros. So I have a bunch of new old stock of the V3.1s, and those are going to be really cheap. And then we're also going to be running deals with the Easy ABL Pros. So just wait for our sale, save yourself some money. But just do the firmware. Just do the firmware, use the printer. If you want to buy the upgrades now, fine, but don't put them on the printer until you get your feet wet with actually using the machine. So I'm assuming this is your first printer. Don't mess with it until you get used to using the printer. I can't tell you how many people, they go and buy our ABL kit, which is great. I love that people love it. I love that people recommend it. But we got guys sometimes that don't even know how to extract a zip file, and they're trying to install this product on their printer. So take a step back, learn to use the machine, learn to use your slicing software, learn the parts of the machine, what they're called, that kind of stuff, and the basics before you start modifying it. This goes to anybody upgrading your machines. So, Steve Smith, I bought your new 10S Pro conversion kit. How easy is it going to be to swap the Easy ABL? I saw it had a jumper and cable included. I should be editing that video right now, but I wanted to stream and talk to you guys, but I will have it done tomorrow. It's pretty easy. Here's the gist of it. Swapping it over. So you do the LCD conversion, which we already have a video out. There's a jumper that you put across the 2 pins. Here, I'll show you guys clips from the video here so you can get a little peek. So if you get it before I get the video up tomorrow, you can do something. So let me pull up my videos here. Oh God, Nere's here. I'm going to shut the stream down now. So the jumper, if I'm looking up, it's because the screen I share. I use my TV to share because I don't usually have personal stuff up on it. So the jumper actually goes right here. So what we're looking at here is the control board. So this is where the stock probe connects to. You're going to disconnect that, and you're going to put the jumper across these 2 pins here. So I'll pause this once I move my fingers away. So you put the jumper across these 2 pins, and what this does is this bypasses their really shitty optocoupler circuit here. And if you don't do this, it's not going to work. So that's where the bypass jumper goes on. And these are really long. If you noticed, I didn't want to get my fingers in there. I actually used a pair of needle nose pliers because it's got the nice long tab on them. I specifically got these so they're easier to put on. But you put that across the 2 pins there, push it on, and that bypasses it. So, yeah. But we've got, so here's the cable clips here. So this is how the cable clips go on. So I'm just showing you, these are the raw footage I am editing. So you can see I have the clip going all the way down. And I'm telling you, go ahead and open up the bottom. And then there's a jumper wire. So this is the board. You can see I've already got my LCD conversion done. And then the signal wire that's included in the kit goes right there. So you can see here, the Z minus, and then this goes to the Easy ABL board. So there's our signal wire. The video is longer. It's a really quick install. I just try to be detailed with my installation. So I've already got my signal wire. Here's my sensor wire. I skipped over here. So this is me routing the sensor wire in. You just loosen up the screws here. You push the wire through, angle it down, and then you tighten it back up, and there's your sensor wire into the printer. And then I'm pulling power from right here in the video. So I take out the power going to the board, I twist them. You see me fumbling here. So this is all the stuff I cut out, me fumbling with the wires for like a minute. and I tightened them down. You can see here I used the included screwdriver with the ABL kit and then realized I couldn't get shit for tension. So then I came back and was like, yeah, just use a regular screwdriver. So basically you got your sensor, your signal wire. I'm just showing here, you can just stash down there. I cut the wire, I stripped it, and then I fumbled with it. And like the hardest part is like I'm trying here to make it so you guys can see me putting the wires in. So like this is all stuff that gets cut out. And then I'm like trying to show you guys putting the wires in, but trying to look at my screen and look at what I'm doing is hard. So, but you basically run power. You then plug the sensor wire in. So we have this Z switch here. This should be in this position you see here in the video. So it should be towards the top of the circuit board. So here's the top. It's actually upside down, but I got my sensor wire clipped in, my signal wire. The switch should be at the top, and then that's it. If you got the full conversion kit from us, we actually include an additional screw. I think this is the video. So there's me putting the lid on. So you can just stash it down here. If you want a double-sided tape, you can, but it's fine just floating about there. Or if you got the full kit, we do give you an extra screw. And I think this is me fumbling. Is this it? Yeah, here. So I'm basically saying here, hey, if you don't want it floating, take that fifth screw we include, take the stock screw out, and just stick it right there. And you can see it mounts up just fine. And then I just clean up the cabling with some zip ties. And then you update the firmware. The only thing that's a pain on this particular machine because of how they mounted everything, I think this is the video, is calibrating the sensor because you can't actually get access to the screw. Oh, yeah, and here's a funny thing. So if you notice, I'm doing it one click and it's moving up 4 millimeters. I'm like, oh crap, I gotta adjust something I gotta change the firmware setting. So I had to actually patch the firmware. I didn't realize it was jumping more than one, but that's been fixed. Where am I gonna talk about calibrating it? Like this is all the stuff that gets cut out. I'm preheating it. It's heated. So basically, I'm just showing you want to have like the top of the black part of the sensor lined up with the top, and we're just going to calibrate it. If you notice, it's not held in, but the little loop I made right here in the wire is actually holding it. So you can actually calibrate it. You just pull it up. Where is it? So adjust it, put it back in, see if it triggers. And I move the geometry. Anyways, there's a whole video. It's going to get edited. It's going to be nice. So, yeah, I put everything back on. And then here's the last video. So here we go. This pulled M 0.002 millimeters on here, which ain't bad at all. So I'm just going through. This is literally the first print off it. I did this, shot this in one take, which was great. And came out fantastic. So you see here, it under extruded a little bit when it started, but I was using a profile for another machine. But it worked. So, but this will all get edited down. You can see I was like, ah, crap, it's out of focus, and I focused it. So, I mean, there's a lot of, these are all the files here. This probably isn't going to make it into the final cut, but I was like, the intro is going to have the old sensor on fire just for lulz. So this was me lighting it on fire, and this one's not going to make it in. I got another cut where it's slightly less on fire, but I have a glass chair mat, so as those molten stuff is dripping down, it's just going right onto my glass sheet. I was like, oh, okay. So, but that won't be in the final cut. I have another intro. This is the intro that I actually made into the final cut. So, woo. So, but yeah, I tried to be funny with some of the videos. But these are all the files just for this installation. So this is all stuff I have to cut and edit. And like here's the one for the LCD here. These are all the files, the raw video files for this. How much space is this? 2.8 gigs. So that's about it. A little sneak peek. I feel like I should do like a blooper reel. I got enough footage. I save all my footage. I've got like 6 terabytes of raw video on my server right now. That's just all raw footage. Matt just got back and forth. Dog, you streaming again? Yeah, I am. Come at me, bro. It's only 1 a.m. The night is young. I grabbed myself a glass of water. What's up, Bridhawks? Let's see. So anyways, hopefully that gives you the gist. My videos could be... What do you guys think about me making a regular video and then a TLDR video where I run through installations really quick? So have the normal ones where I'm covering every little detail, but also have one that's a TLDR. Something I thought about doing. Taylor Sharp, what do you think about adding ground connections to the hot end carriage and X gantry? I've had my board reset in loose position from ESD to the carriage multiple times. It's not going to hurt anything. What's your favorite holiday at TH3D? Not the holidays coming up. Do you guys know how crazy it is here with Black Friday and everything? Do you know how insane it is? And then all the family stuff, like, real talk here. So I like seeing my family. I like the holidays. But the problem is, it's supposed to be, people take, like, that's your time off, you know, your holiday. It's just as, I want to say it's almost as stressful as doing the day-to-day business stuff. It's not me just, you know, wrenching on my car and doing fun projects. It's more work, running all the parties and everything, and it's exhausting. I might end up just taking a week off in January with my wife for like, because her birthday is December 31st, mine's the 15th of January. I might just take a week or two off and just say, you know, fuck it, because I need some time to do nothing. I don't even care if we go anywhere, because the nice thing is the shop is a separate building. Like, I don't know, just like a week to do fuck all. You know what I mean? I do like running the sales. I like running sales for some reason. Even though it's less money in my pocket, it's fun to like see people get excited when we put stuff on sale. I don't know. I'm weird. I'll let that one through. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the holidays? Is it something you really look forward to, or is it just kind of exhausting? You need to make a quick version of blooper reel. I'll try to do that. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, the LCD install for the Sierra 10S Pro, I could make a 3-minute video. Here, unbolt this, plug these cables in, plug the LCD, and update the firmware. Done. Would you buy an Ender 3 Pro for $199 or a Sierra 10S for $399? Buy whatever machine has the build volume you'll actually use. If you're not going to ever use the build volume on a Sierra 10S, then save your money and buy an Ender 3. Christmas is just debt. Yeah, no kidding. I'm glad when they're gone. I feel like I missed the first part of that. Oh. Enjoy time out with my family is no drama. I'm not saying my family's drama. I'm just saying it's exhausting. After installing EasyBoard on Sierra 10, I've been getting retraction issues. What do you mean by retraction issues? Is your extruder making weird noises? Are you running Stealth Chop on it? How fast are you retracting? Did you have retracting issues before? If you're using Stealth Chop, I would recommend you turn Stealth Chop off. You would go there, Naries. You would. Are you using Stealth Chop, Tech Guy? Are you using Stealth Chop on E? Answer Devin Squirrels. What's the difference between RepRap and Marlin? I'm assuming you mean RepRap firmware and Marlin. They're just two different printer firmwares. The RepRap firmware is usually found on the Duet type boards, and Marlin's on a ton of 32-bit and a ton of 8-bit boards, for the most part. There's also SmoothieWare, but I don't know anybody that uses SmoothieWare. Yes, it is making too much noise. So if you're running, are you running Stealth Chop or Spread Cycle? Did you turn on the Stealth Chop option for the E? That's what I was asking. Yeah, I don't mind Christmas music for like a week. And yeah, turn Stealth Chop off. There's a reason I shipped the firmware with Stealth Chop disabled for the E, because Stealth Chop doesn't have enough torque and you sometimes lose steps. So if you have Stealth Chop on and you retract fast, you'll hear a grind noise because it's losing steps. Board's showing me 62 on this hot end. You fried the board. Yeah, it probably hit the leg of the heater and sent 12 or 24 volts, depending on what your printer's using, into that, and it fried the pins. You're not going to be able to fix that. You'll fix that by replacing the board, Mario. So Tech Guy, unfortunately, the motor will make more noise in spread cycle mode, but you're not going to have step loss. So it's just the nature of the beast. You either have, the problem is if you increase VREF or your current in this case, because it's all done over UART, your motor's going to run hotter, which can then cause its own set of issues, but the motors are going to make noise. They're stepper motors, and stepper drivers inherently make noise, and the way to cut down on noise is to reduce the torque, which is why Stealth Chop is so quiet, is because you're reducing the torque. So the motor's running quieter. But on the extruder, where you need a lot of torque to push the filament through, it's not a very good mode for running your extruder in. I don't run any of our extruders here in Stealth Chop for the E because it doesn't have enough torque. And in my testing, now some people will tell you they have no issues. I can tell you that during my testing, I've had on and off issues where, like you're saying, you go to retract and it just skips steps and it doesn't actually retract. So that's just how these work. There's no way around it. You cut down on the noise, you're cutting down on how much available torque the motor has. It's just how this stuff works. You know, it's like fans. If you want a quieter fan, it's going to move less air. It's the same thing with the stepper motors. The noise sounds different to everybody because it's different audible ranges, and the Trinamics are actually shifting the frequencies into inaudible ranges for most people, but some people hear it, some people don't. It's kind of like a noise is what I hear. But like my wife can't hear it on the printer. I can hear it. It's quieter than the stock the stock stepper drivers were. But yes, it's normal to hear kind of a slight like whining or like a, I can't even make the noise with my mouth, but it's like I would equate it to like kind of a, I don't know, like a hissing, like a but it doesn't even sound as loud as that. But that's just the stepper driver doing its job. Yeah, so it's normal. That's just how it is. So, wait, what? Late night packing? Great video on Tim's dedication. Oh, are you going through my old videos? I feel like that's one. Is that in one of my old videos? I feel like that is. You shouldn't increase your steps per millimeter. What extruder are you running? Because I mean your stock Creality extruder and the upgraded one that we sell, those should be 95 steps per millimeter. And if you're under extruding or over extruding, what I recommend people do is you change the extrusion multiplier in your slicer. You don't constantly screw with the steps per millimeter, because what really bothers me is a lot of people tell people to calibrate their extruder all the time, and while that can help, the easiest way is just dialing your extrusion multiplier in your slicer software, because your steps per millimeter are determined by your stepping rate of your stepper driver, the step angle of the motor, and the diameter of the gear that's actually pushing the filament. So if everybody's using the same stepper motor, same stepper driver, so 1/16 stepping is what we're running at. Even on the Trinamics, the Trinamics are actually taking that 1/16 signal and interpolating it up to 1/256, so it's smoother. Anyways, point is, that number shouldn't change much at all if everybody's using the same gear, the same motors with the same step angles, the same stepping rate. It should be a static number. It shouldn't be fluctuating. The only way it might fluctuate is if the diameter of your filament is changing, and it can change from manufacturer to manufacturer and even batch to batch, but you can also compensate for that with your extrusion multiplier in your slicer. So my recommendation is I set my printers to what the manufacturer recommends. In this case, on your stock Creality ones, that's 95 steps per millimeter. If I'm running a geared extruder like our Tough extruder, which is based on the E3D Titan, and I'm using the stock motor, which is a 1.8 degree stepping angle motor, not the 0.9 like E3D sells. I'm not a real big fan of it, but anyways, I digress. That comes out to 463 steps per millimeter for that particular extruder. I don't have anything other than the stock steps per millimeter for my printers. I do not calibrate my extruders because they're already close enough to the point where then I can just tune my extrusion multiplier in my slicer. So that's what I recommend people do. You can calibrate it, but the reality is I don't like screwing with my firmware settings all the time. And you get people that are screwing with their firmware settings all the time, and if they forget that they set it or they flash their firmware and they forget to put those custom settings back in after they reflash, then they're chasing their tail. Whereas if you're just doing it at the slicer level and playing with your extrusion multiplier, then you're fine. But to be honest, I find out what extrusion multiplier works on what machine. I don't ever touch it, because the reality is if the filament is roughly within spec, you shouldn't need to mess with that too much. If you're having to mess with your extrusion multiplier all the time, either you have really crap filament or there's something wrong with your machine that's screwing up the steps that are actually happening. So I don't do anything. I don't do flow rate calibration. I don't do extrusion multiplier. PLA, I run a 0.9 extrusion multiplier on almost every single machine here. ABS, I run 1.0, and PETG, I run 1.1. So no, the steps are not, the firmware's set up to behave like you can take, if you swap the board, you can use the same exact G code from your stock board to our easy board because the firmware's set up properly. You don't have to do anything. The steps are increasing because it's doing the interpolation, but it's transparent to you. It doesn't affect how you use the machine. So if that was something you would have to do, it would be documented in the installation guide. So basically, for our products in general, if it's not in the installation guides, then don't do what some random guys on the internet are telling you to do. Because if it was actually required, it would be in the installation guide, or at the very least, it would be in our knowledge base. So if it's not in our knowledge base and it's not in the installation guides, don't do it. I see a lot of people go down these rabbit holes of doing stuff to tune their printers, and not just for my products, but in general. I see a lot of people giving out advice that can be seen as helpful, but ends up just throwing people for a loop and having them chasing their tail, going down rabbit holes that they shouldn't even be going down in the first place. I get people want to help, but make sure you're actually helping people and not complicating things further, which I see a lot of stuff happening in the communities where people are trying to be helpful, but they're really just wasting people's time and giving them incorrect information that doesn't actually matter. Like, especially with our stuff, read the installation guides. I have taken a lot of time to detail what you guys actually need to do with our products to make them work. If it's not documented, it's probably not something you need to do. You can always ask us. You can email us. You can send us a live chat, and we'll tell you. But the basic thing is all the key points I hit on all my stuff. Like, I know what we're doing here. I know our products, and I know what I need to document and stuff that should be documented for our customers to use the products correctly. So you know, there's a reason I have, you know, like the firmware for our easy board. Yes, you can turn Stealth Chop on the E. I personally, if there wouldn't be people complaining about it, I would just make it so you can never take it out of spread cycle mode, because there's no reason to do it, and it only causes issues like you're seeing here. You turn it on, well, it's a little bit quieter, but now you're not getting good prints because this motor's losing steps. You know, it's not that much noise. Like, the thing is that at that point, even in spread cycle, it's the loudest thing on your printer now is going to be your fans. Like, it's a machine, it's going to make noise. That's the reality of these machines. The Trinam drivers are great. They significantly lower the audible range that you hear. I do like them. They're smooth. There's a lot of benefits from them, but on your extruder, run it in spread cycle. You need the torque to push the filament. Is having a slightly lower audible volume worth having print quality issues? No, it's not. That's the reason I ship the boards and we ship the firmware where Stealth Chop is disabled on the extruder and it's in spread cycle mode. There's a reason I did that. It's not just for shits and giggles. It's because that's what works best. And when people say they're having retraction issues or extrusion issues when they put the board in, the first question I ask them is, did you turn Stealth Chop on the extruder? Yes, turn it off. You don't need it. My motion sensor just... I'm not moving enough. Robbie Mac, we have them. We have them, actually. So we are actually going to be having a change in the flex plates. So we are keeping our current lineup of the PEI ones, except now we are only going to have them pre-applied. So I actually got all of them pre-applied by our manufacturer because people keep screwing up putting them on, and our guys were having a hard time putting them on, so I was applying sheets. So we're keeping our standard ones that we've had this entire time. We have the ones with the smooth PEI, like the kind of matte finish you guys are used to, but I also have textured ones, and they're all sitting right there. I got to take pictures of them. So we're going to have our Easy Flex and our Easy Flex 2, and the Easy Flex 2 is our textured sheets. So I know some people are not going to like that we're only going to be offering the plates with the PEI pre-applied, because some people like to use the Easy Mats, but you can put the Easy Mat on the other side. Just know that the magnet's still going to keep it in place, but it's going to feel weaker because you're going to have that extra material in between it. But I've tested and it does work. So, but I'm refreshing the product line. I have tabs on all the plates now, all the sizes. The current stock we have, so the current Easy Flex plates we have, those are retained. Like, we're not getting rid of those. We did change the tab design, so everything's all uniform now. But it's the same exact plate, same PEI, so that's not changed. So you guys will have a choice of the smoother PEI and the textured PEI, so you have options. And then if you want to, yeah, they're not stocked yet. I gotta take new pictures and list them. We've literally just received them and finished going through and checking them all for quality today. So I'll show you guys one. I'm gonna grab one of the smaller ones. So these are our new ones. These are the textured sheets. See, I even got a new logo too. Easy Flex 2. Fancy. So it's got a smooth back, so you can put an Easy Mat on the back if you wanted to. Okay. Flexi plate. And then we got 2 lift tabs. So all of them are going to have this same design. So we went with the 2 tabs here. And this is actually PEI that is baked onto the sheet. So if I run my fingers here. So you guys have 2 options. These are obviously going to have a rougher surface. But we'll have these and we'll have the smooth ones. So you guys will have 2 different options for plates, and I haven't updated the site yet. But about a month ago, we actually switched over the magnets and the magnetic sheets. If you ordered in the last month, we actually got a better formulation for the magnetic sheets, and they're now good up to 140 degrees Celsius. We finally got testing back. I don't have beds that go that high, so I had to have somebody else test these because the hottest bed I have here is like 115. But the magnets are now rated up to 140C. So we got textured, we got smooth, so we got stuff going on. But yeah, you got the smooth side here, so you can put an easy mat on this side, so you can run it like this or like this. Just do note, because if you guys do that option, if you want the easy mat on one side, or you can buy the smooth PEI and put it on the back of the texture sheet. I left these blank, so you guys can do whatever the heck you want with them. So you can put the easy mat on here, put the PEI on here, whatever you want, and you got the textured here. But do know when you have it on the side with the mat, the magnet's going to feel weaker. We've tested it thoroughly. It's not going to move during a print, but it will feel weaker because you got an extra piece of material between it. So, but it all works, and we tested it. I've been testing these. I've been keeping these a secret for like 6 months. You guys know how hard this has been? I've been testing these out to make sure that this coating holds up for 6 months. So, and just to show you guys, here's the 410 for the CR10S4 and the AlphaWise U20. And this is the Ender 5 Plus. Look at that. Or sorry. I lied. Okay. Ender 5 Plus. CR10S Max. Yeah, we got max sizes in too. So, like I said, we all uniform on the design. We got the 2 lift tabs. Look how nice these look. So yeah, spoiler alert, that's why I was blowing out some of the sizes, because I had new ones coming in. So, but the ones that are on the site right now, the only difference between those and the ones I have sitting here is the tab design. Exact same product otherwise. So, yeah. I'm really excited about these, if you guys can't tell. Like, they came out beautiful. Like, I've been testing these things, like the textured ones, been testing those for like 6 months. I actually have one that's, the sample has been sitting in water for 2 months because I wanted to see if it actually rust. No rust after 2 months, and it was really dirty, crappy water. So, because one of my buddies was like, well, what if moisture gets under the coating? I was like, that's a good question. So I scraped the shit out of it. I stuck it in a bucket of water. I've been like agitating it every other day. No rust. So let's see here. So Neries, it doesn't matter if these plates have a bias because the magnet's strong enough to hold them down. So I know some companies' plates combined with their magnets don't always stay down when you flip them, but ours do. So, and we're still going to be way cheaper than other companies like Wham Bam and BuildTech for our flex systems. Does the texture increase adhesion or change the bottom texture? In my opinion and my testing, it didn't seem to hold better than the smooth. It's more of a preference. People have been asking us for the textured. I like the textured. I'll use whatever, to be honest. Like, I don't have a preference between the textured and the smooth. So, but they both work great. I'm not sure what you mean, Neri, is played down when when you without the second coating, sure, with a second coating. I mean, I've tested them all. I've got a 220 sheet over here that's got the smooth PEI on one and the Easy Mat on the other, and it works just fine here. So it doesn't shift. You can feel that there's less magnetic pull because there's a surface in between the plate and the magnet, but it's still plenty to hold it down. When I print scale or some, what? Hang on. Scalar. Oh, when I print, scalar or something is wrong because I printed some link chains for Ender 3 and they turn out very tight when snapped together. Sounds like your tolerances are off. You could be over extruding slightly. What's it called? Yeah, you could be over extruding slightly, or you could have a mechanical issue that's introducing slop. So you could check your belts, check your eccentric nuts, make sure they're not too loose or over tightened, and check your extrusion multiplier in your software. I can't remember what Kira calls it, but there's a option that tells you how much filament to push out, and you can lower that. So you might be over extruding. It also might just be too, depending on the model you're printing, that it's too tight of a tolerance for your printer to print. On most FDM machines, you can expect a tolerance of 0.15 to 0.2 millimeters on the X and Y. Yeah, flow sounds correct. Schiller's works just fine here, and you printed something 400 millimeters across and shifting. Yeah, I've printed big stuff on our smooth stuff. The AlphaWise U20 has a Easy Mat on one side and the PEI on the other, and I've printed stuff all the way across, like full bed. I did actually a giant Christmas tree, and it didn't come up. I wanted to add the magnetic bed to the L4. Do I put the mag sheet on the glass or remove the glass? No, do not remove the glass. It's bonded to that aluminum plate. Just put it right on top of the glass. I have it on mine. Right on top. So way to stabilize the Z-axis, I think it has a bit of wobble on the Ender 3. Yeah, look up the Edge of Tech. He has an awesome guide. Edge of Tech rework guide. So let me see here. I think this is the playlist. Here we go. Luke Hatfield. Here we go. Effect C. Run through his videos. They're fantastic. We do ship to Europe, and yes, it's more expensive than shipping in the U.S. I know people are going to ask if we. I have like at least 3 people a day complaining about the cost of shipping. Like I have some control over how much USPS or UPS or FedEx charges. Oh, hey, Renegade Labs in the house. I haven't seen you in a while, Steve. So Effexy, run through those guides. We do carry dual Z kits for the Ender 3 that are amazing. Like I've got nothing but good feedback from them. I have it on mine. It's a great upgrade. But before you go and spend money, go through the rework link that I sent you. Yeah. Jay Cook. Having a huge issue with my microswiss on Ender 3. No matter what, I get one print bottom pouts out. I've tried 3 different Bowden's microswiss and replacement and clips, same issues. What tubing are you using? And what fittings are they sending you? Because there's a lot of crap fittings on there. Any idea on my King Room KP3? Prints okay until I try to print something small like Marvin. It's probably overheating. Do you have a layer fan on there? Because by default, the stock cooling fan setup is not that great. I'm going to be printing a new one. My King Rune is actually sitting right there. Because I'm going to move it over here after I clean up my tools here from my last project. I would suspect cooling. It'd be helpful to have pictures. Actually, if you guys do want to send me pictures or something, even though YouTube doesn't allow that usually, I do have. If you guys go to our Discord server, there's a live stream channel, so you can go ahead and post stuff in there. Let's see here. Here, discord.th3s2.com. So if you guys want to post any pictures in there, you can, and I can see them, or post links. You can. There's an under main. There's a channel called live streams. Yeah, tolerance tests. Those are nice. So Calvin, if you want to jump in there and post a picture of what your Marvin looks like, that would be helpful. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Micro Swiss's hot ends, to be completely honest. Not a big fan. Yeah, here's the thing. The Capricorn tubing is very slick, so if you don't have good fittings, it's not going to bite in. Take it easy, Luke. Yeah, the stock hot end. Oh man, maybe I should turn all my lights on so I don't fall asleep. I'm not that tired actually though. But I probably will wrap this up in about 30 minutes, so just so you guys all know. Also, I got the ABL kit to give away, so in a couple minutes I'll put a keyword in. You guys will type that in, and then whoever wins will get it. Could just be the fitting. What are they shipping? The weird. So I mean, most of the Bowden fittings are decent because we've got like the multi-part ones on our tough extruders, and they work well as long as you put the locking clip in. Let me see what they're shipping now. Yeah, see, they switched over. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that style on theirs because I had the Micro Swiss and I had nothing but problems with their fitting. It doesn't work well with the slicker tubes like the Capricorn, or we have our own brand that's like the tight tolerance high temp tubing called our tough tubing. That fitting doesn't grab in very well. I wish they would have kept the one like Reality uses where it's a threaded one, because those are a little bit beefier than what Micro Swiss uses. That's just my thing. The tough tube is as slick as the Capricorn. It's literally the same properties, same performance as Capricorn, except it's $4 a meter cheaper. So I would not even screw with Prusa's MMU. I have a Palette 2 Pro sitting here, and Aaron's got the Palette 2, and we're going to start playing with those in a couple of weeks. I've had them sitting here for a little while, but everyone I've talked to that's had the MMU, even on a Prusa, the 1 and 2, most of them have sold it and gone with the Palette. I think the Palette solution's way nicer than Prusa's MMU. I haven't met a single person that speaks highly of Prusa's MMU. Everyone's told me it's been a pain in the ass to get it working, and then when it does work, it's like you'll get a couple prints out of it, and then it'll be a pain in the ass. Nereis, TH3D stands for, so it's multifaceted. So like it was supposed to look like the 3D Studio with the 3 being the E from the, but TH, yes, those are my initials, so it worked out that way. It's always funny when I get somebody that's like, I want to speak to the owner, and it's like, what do you think TH stands for in TH3D? You got to post it in the live streams channel. Where are you at? Did you post it in the main one? Let's see. The general? Oh, okay, I see you got a multicolor print. Is that an MMU2 on the Ender 3? That's a lot of work, if that's what the case. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's your Prusa. Okay. Got it. I see that there. But, I just posted there, head to live streams. So we ship next day if it's in stock. We ship next day, and typically if an order's put in before 11 a.m. and it's not Monday, because Monday we've got a huge backlog of orders from the weekend. If it's before 11 a.m., we can even ship same day. But at the very latest, if we take it easy, Levi. Thanks for stopping by, man. But basically, if it's in stock, we ship it out next day. So, I'm not in voice chat tonight. Meatball, what did you use for your cooling fan? I still haven't figured out what I'm going to do with what I'm going to do for my layer fan. I'm going to use our 24-volt 5015 fan for the cooling fan, but I don't know what mount I'm going to put on there. Because I am also going to put the ABL kit on there. Alright, well, speaking of ABL kits, because it's already 1:30, I'm going to cut this off at 2. Let's see here. What's the difference between our tubing and cap tubing? Ours is $4 less a meter. Performs exactly the same. And from my experience, ours has been more consistent, like with things like the diameter and the hole actually being centered. We don't have a very high return rate at all. Like, I don't think we ever, I think maybe we have a handful of returns. But in terms of issues, we don't have issues with the tubing. If we do, it's been less than 0.5%. We do carry the stock fan replacements now for Creality machines. For the 4010 blower fan, that's your part cooling fan, we carry them, and they're dual ball bearing fans. They're not sleeve fans. But if you want to go an aftermarket cooler, I highly recommend the 5015 fans. So, all right, Matt, take it easy. So I'm going to put in here DIY for me is the keyword. So type DIY for me in chat, and whoever wins this will get the kit I assembled on the DIY stream, which is a fully working kit. So I think I might even have some power wire thrown with this, but I got the lid and the case, but it's a fully working kit. But for those of you guys that have these work great. The new pros are, so the difference between these, I saw someone asking and I forgot to answer. So the difference between these and the current ones we sell, the pros, these sensors run at 100 hertz sensing rate. The new ones are 600, so they're 6 times the speed. What does that mean? I get to brag that my sensors are 600 hertz. These work great still. The board is a little easier to use. So we've got the Z switch, so you can flip that to flip your polarity of your Z end stop wire, so you don't have to move pins around or change the wiring. And then we went to screw terminals for power and Z end stop, in addition to the DC plug, which for like a wall adapter, and the 3-pin. So we consolidated from having the direct wired Easy Connect to one board, and we have faster sensors with fully shielded cables. So these are shielded. This is just a braiding on this. So this is shielded, which is a step up from everybody else. All the other ABL kit sellers on the market, like the Creality knockoffs of these, Skynets, what other company? There's one other company that was making it. I saw a couple other companies. Anyways, no one but us is using shielded cables on our sensors. We've been using shielded cables on our sensors for over a year, and the newer version is just more refined. It's nicer. It's a little bit more professional. But these work great. We sold these for, I want to say, over a year. And I still have these in service on most of our machines. Most of our machines are running our older sensors. I've only got some machines in here that have the newer ones on them. But they all work. So anyways, I'm going to roll this, some coffee. I'm more of an energy drink kind of guy. So, all right, I've got everybody entered, and let's go ahead and roll it. Who won? Let's see here. Kana B. Kana B? KHANH? Kana B? Come on, reply in the chat. Okay, so what I need you to do is send me your name, phone number, or name, phone number. Well, I'll have your email because you're going to email me. But name, phone number, and address to my email, which is tim@th3dstudio.com. Send that over to me. And I'm going to do, and I'll set up the order for you, and I'll ship this out to you. Do you need me to include some wire to connect the power, or do you got extra wire laying around? Because I'm going to literally bag this up. It's already been tested. I tested it on the stream. And the installation guides for these versions of the kits are still in the firmware pack. So that's all still out there. But I'll create a custom order for this one, since this obviously isn't in my inventory system. Okay, well that saves me some time. I appreciate it. But you'll get this. I already got the lid here. If you don't like the brown, the STL files for this case are in our firmware pack, so you can print a new one, and this board just snaps in here. You can just give it a quick yank and it'll pop out. So, if that's a good question, Meatball. If you guys buy tubing from us, if you order more than 1 meter, it comes in one continuous length. So if you order 2 meters, you get one 2-meter piece. If you order 10 meters, you get one 10-meter piece. And we do not cut it up into 1 meter increments. So I know a lot of people have bigger projects and they'd like to have one piece. So if you order more than 1 meter, it all comes in one piece. You don't have to specify it. It just comes like that. And if you don't have a PTFE cutter, I highly recommend grabbing the PTFE cutter. It's not a gimmick. You have to cut especially if you're in the melt zone with your PTFE, you have to cut it flat, and you can't do it with crimpers. You'll crimp the tubing. So if you're getting tubing from us or anywhere else, get a PTFE cutter. Ricardo Mason says, IR sensors are good for auto level. I did not like them. There's too many variables that you have to do, like the color of the bed, how reflective it is, that kind of stuff. I think I know what board you're talking about, and I have one of those, and I actually tested those out before I started working on refining these types of kits. And the thing is, they were just not universal. They were very specific what kind of surface they could use. And if you even look at the documentation for the IR sensors, like UV with glass, you have to spray paint the back of the glass black. I wasn't a big fan of it. Some people like them. I love these type of sensors because they just work on all of the surfaces we use. So yeah, that's just my take. It's my opinion. You can order one and you might like it, but everybody, I only sell stuff that I actually use myself. So if I wouldn't use it myself, and not just it wouldn't, if I don't use it here, if I don't have the stuff on my machines, I don't sell it. So that's just how we do business here. So if I wouldn't put it in my printer, I don't sell it. That's why I don't sell the Creality silent boards, because there's too many issues with the drivers overheating, and I would never put one in my printer, so why would I sell it to my customers? It has nothing to do with us having our own board that has Trinamics on it. Even if I didn't have our Easy board, we still would not carry the Creality silent board, because I don't believe it's a good product. I think they cut too many quarters on it, and it's just not a reliable product. That's why I still sell their standard board. That's the 114, because while it's not perfect, it's been proven to be a reliable board. The 115, on the other hand, has a lot of issues. So, yeah, that's just how I do stuff here. All right, let's do one more thing that doesn't require me to create a custom order here. How about a $10 gift card for the shop? How about that? $10 off anything. Anything in the shop. What am I going to do? I'm going to make the keyword for this one be grounded. Groundit. If you give me a sec, I'm going to mute this so I don't blow your ears. I don't mind the cold weather, but the air being really dry is killing my sinuses. Absolutely killing my sinuses. It's rough. All right, how many people we got? I got 14 people so far. You only need to type it once. Nightbot might get pissed off at you if you type it more than once. Spectral Blaze, do I have to make a mount for your tough extruders? You do, and by popular demand, I actually have because it has to be PETG or ABS, and we actually have mounts now in the shop. I forgot to actually post that we have this now, because people kept asking us, because with the tough extruder, your motor's going to run hotter, PLA will warp. But if I switch here, for $5, you can get the ABS part. And then you just need some screws and nuts to bolt it in. So this is actually ABS. This will withstand the heat from your motor, and this works great for the Creality thing. And if you click here, this is how it mounts up. This guy is actually an old buddy of mine, this Lucas Hayes user, who I actually haven't talked to in a while. He like fell off of Facebook. That's how I talked to him. I met him at Murph back in like 2017. So, but we have this. I need to see. If you guys notice, we have a fancier search now. Yeah, so the STL files are on there. Most of our, I think almost all of our printed stuff, we have links to the STLs, because everybody's like, well, I don't want to pay you for it. Where's the STL? So I just put it on the product page. Like all our sensor mounts, the motor brackets, all this stuff, it's all linked. The cable clips. Yeah, but I mean, like, me personally, for like these bigger ones, I'd pay somebody to print this just so I don't have to deal with it. But yeah, I'm gonna add actually. Oh, I can't. I gotta. I know why I don't have it as an upsell on here, because the way my bundle stuff works, I gotta switch it around. But yeah. So we have the. If you go to printed parts on the right-hand side here, here's the Creality Tough Extruder mount. So if you can't print PETG or don't want to deal with printing PETG, this is an ABS part. It's $5 and you just need some screws. If you don't have screws, we also sell screws. This is a really nice assortment, mainly because we got these right here, the M3x25s, which you won't find in a lot of the assortments. If you notice here, I actually dropped the longer M5s so we could stock the M3x25s in here. Because a lot of the mounts use that, and a lot of the assortments you find on Amazon don't come with it. So, yeah, that power supply case is a 10-hour print. Even, I think it's 9 at 0.3 because we print that at 0.3 layer height. But like these LCD covers, which I think it's like $5. Yeah, $5 for PLA. which it's fine in PLA. Some people want ABS, $8 for ABS. This is like an 8 to 9 hour print, and there's supports that get removed. So, and this is done at a 0.2. So the only thing I don't have actual part or pictures of the printed parts are the OEM mounts, because there's so many of them. I just didn't feel like it, and they're like $1 for some of them. So, but yeah, we're gonna be adding more printed parts. I'm looking at doing the Hero Me on here too, but trying to list that's gonna be a nightmare. But we have these two, like the heavy duty mount for the V6s. So for the Creality machines, I really like this mount. It's simple, it works. So, all right. To print PSU and ASA under a cardboard box. You don't need that PSU case to be ABS. We do them all in PLA. I've never had an issue with them in PLA. Is there a cooling duct for your standard V6 that will fit the volcano mount you sell? What? Oh, you want to use the volcano style mount that we sell with the V6, so the shorter block. As far as I know, no, there's not. All right, it looks like everybody's entered. I'm gonna roll it, and let's go. Ernest Sanford, you have won. Ernest Sanford, all I need you to do is email me, and I will send you a code. Real simple. And it'll be $10 off anything. No restrictions, nothing. $10 off anything in the store. So, let me see here. So, those of you guys waiting on flex plates, in a couple of days we'll have the site stocked. I just got to take new photos of the new ones that I showed off earlier. And I'm gonna reorganize how they're listed, because like now the PEI sheets are not separate, because like inventory wise right now the PEI sheets are separate from the plates, whereas they're not going to be in the future, so because they're already pre-applied, which is something people said they wanted. Let's see here. But yeah, so Ernest, email me, Tim at th3dstudio.com. and I will send you your $10 off code. Let's see, 300 by 300 in that batch? Absolutely. I got 310 by 310 and 310 by 320. So 310 by 320 is for like the CR10S Pro and the CRX. And the 310 by 310 is for like all the Creality series. CR10, CR10S, CR10 V2. I feel like I'm missing a couple models that are 310 by 310. Yeah, AL4. 330 by 330. What's 330 by 330? I don't think I have 330 by 330. That's an odd size. Oh, Tronxy. Yeah, I haven't had plates cut for the Tronxys. They're not a very big market, and I have a minimum quantity. Oh, the A30? Is that 330 by 330 on that bed? I gave away my G-Tech A30. Because the stock electronics were so bad, I didn't feel like messing with it. And it wasn't a big seller either. I think you're literally the first person to ask about a 330 by 330 plate. Like, ever. I don't think anybody's asked me. I mean, you could do the, what would be the next closest size? The 310 by 320. Obviously, then you're limited to that size, but there's nothing stopping you from putting the slightly smaller sheet on there. Because I think the next closest size would be the jump up to the, let me see here. Let me see what sizes I ordered. Yeah, yeah, CR10S Pro. Luke, I thought you were going to bed. I have them for this. The Sirton S Pro is 310 by 320. I have those. Oh my god. Installed Norton on here because I get it free with Comcast and I'm regretting it. All right, let's see what size. So these are the sizes I have. 165 by 165, 220 by 220 with the cuts for the corners for like the A-nuts. Oh, the nozzles! How did I forget to list the nozzles? I took pictures and everything. Let me show you guys how sexy these came out. God. Let me make a task for myself because I need to put those on the site. We have them. We've had them for like a week. There's just too much crap going on, you know that? List. How about you guys help me name it? That's what it was. I couldn't think of what to call them, and I feel like it's cliche for me to call it the easy nozzle. Like, come on, give me some ideas. Like, these are awesome nozzles, okay? They're copper nozzles with a really hard plating on them. So they're wear resistant. They transfer heat really well. They're fucking awesome. So I need like an awesome name. Like I need a name for the nozzle. I need to think of something to call the plating. Because everybody who has plated nozzles, they have a fancy name for their plating. I need a name for our plating. Someone said the tough plating. I kind of like that. How about copper nozzle? Are you real creative there, Mark? I'll show you guys the pictures of them because I have the pictures done and I have them cropped. They're seriously like they're. I don't want. It sounds hokey to call them revolutionary, but they're fantastic. Like they're amazing. Like I'm really excited about them. So I got the new texture plates. I got the new nozzles. Like I've been using the nozzles in my Ender 3. So here's the benefit. So not only do they transfer heat faster, but you can run carbon fiber through them. I put 5 rolls of carbon fiber PET G through the one that's on my Ender 3, and it has not changed in diameter. So it's very wear resistant. They transfer heat really well, and the filament has a really hard time sticking to it because of the coating that's on the plating. So it's just like a good all-around nozzle. Like I had to lower from my normal print speeds. I actually had to lower my print temp by 10C because it was melting it too fast. So it's actually transferring the heat faster than the brass, which it's copper. It should. Where the hell did I put these pictures? I want to show them to you guys. Marketing, product photos. Where are their process? Here we go. Here, so I got some real nice shots of these. Where are they? Where did this open? Open, damn it. TV. Okay, so volcano. Here's a back shot. Here's another close-up. Here's the V6 styles. So these are for V6 style hot ends, our hot ends, E3Ds, slice engineering. The max temp on these is like 450C. So if you guys are using like a slice engineering, the max temp on is 450. And then here's the MK8s, which these will fit the Creality machines. And then I know someone's going to be like, well, how do we know it's copper, Tim? How do we know it's just not a shiny silver nozzle? Bam! Because I ground one off just to show you guys that there's actually copper in it. Look at that. I literally took it on my grinder and ground it off. I sacrificed a not very cheap nozzle just for product photos. So it's actually copper. And then the plating on it is gorgeous here. But super smooth inside. It's got the 60-degree that's on there. So it's copper with a nickel plating. Yes, right now how Marlin's set up for it to initialize the SD card, it will restart. Easy flow nozzle, I kind of like that. Kind of like that, WF. Because that's what it is. Like, so the copper combined with the coating, the filament glides out of it. It's really nice. So yeah, I gotta list those because I've got a shit ton of them. I mean, like, I'll show you guys, like, here's some other pictures here. Like, these were ones that didn't make the cut. Like, this was taken with my scope. It's not that great a quality, but you can see there. So, these are just other shots. But as you see, once I blow it up, it starts to get all pixely. It looks better when it's zoomed out. So, there's before I do, like, all the post-processing and stuff. But that's under my scope. Like, you can see the machining's nice on them. The coating's uniform. I'm really happy with them. So, I hope you guys like them. Yeah, I think the Easy Flow. Can I do a vote? Let me see if I can do a vote with Nightbot. I think I can. Can I do a vote? I feel like Nightbot should have a vote. Almost ran that dry. That would have been bad. I think it's the only product I'm sitting on that I haven't released other than the new plates that we just finished processing. So, like, my guys went through every single plate and made sure that, like, the ones with the PEI, that there were no specks of dirt and crap underneath them, and that they were evenly applied and trimmed nicely. And then the ones that are coated, that all the coating was, uniform and everything. So, we didn't have that many plates with issues, to be completely honest. I think we had one. We had one, the textured, where it got, like, scratched up in shipping, but we're just going to use that here. And I think we had, like, 3 where there was some crap under the PEI. So, but I don't even know if I'm going to bother him, like, the guy that makes them for me, with those. Or I might just use them internally here, or, like, B-stock them. Be like, here's one that's discounted. Scratch and dent. Still functional, just not perfect. These will be about $15 a piece. To give you guys a comparison, E3D's copper plated nozzles are over $30 each. So, what did I just fill this? I have 2. It's like a peach pear. This stuff. It's pretty good. So, but yeah. I gotta list those. I'll get them on the site tomorrow. I will get the video done for the Ender 5, the CR10S Pro Easy ABL installed, and then I'll get those nozzles listed. I don't know when the DIY sensor kits list. I just finished the write-up today. Basically is like, yeah, do not buy this unless you know what you're doing. This is literally just parts. So I want that to be very clear, because I don't want people, buying it just because it's cheap and then being a pain. So, probably in a couple days here. I created a task for my manager, Aaron, to give me... I'm fuzzy. My audio? What's fuzzy? My focus is not focused. Is that better? Unless YouTube's cutting my bitrate down. Looks fine on my preview. I'm wondering if it's YouTube because my preview local here looks fantastic. Yeah, it might be your guys' YouTube then. They might have dropped your bitrate down because I don't see any drop frames here. I don't see anything. Yeah, because I'm streaming out at 1080/60 here. It's got to be YouTube. I hate YouTube. Yeah. What were we talking about? Saw someone ask $600 for good budget as a starting spot. What printer? Ender 5 is a good solid recommendation. I like that. You can get an Ender 5 and load it out with a bunch of crap from us for well under 600 bucks. You have a great machine. I like the Ender 5. It's a solid frame. If you want to save a little money, Ender 3 Pro would be the next step down, and then Ender 3. So, yeah, they're coated like the E3D. So this is like our competitor to E3D's Nozzle X. So, hang on, I'm catching up on chat here. Yeah, I don't like the bakery flavors. Danny, I was talking about e-juice. I never liked the bakery flavors. Hang on, let me screw back up. What would it take to get 10 1.2 millimeter copper nozzles? In what size? What flavor? The MK8? I can see. The problem is I got minimum order quantities and everything, and 10 is definitely not the minimum order quantity for them to do a production run. I'll ask. I'll see. I don't know if the machine shop I'm using will do it. Okay. DIY sensors already answered that. You guys are talking about picture being fuzzy. Yeah, so I'm actually in our site. Some guy asked a question. I have a CR10S4 with Bondtech direct drive system, V6 hot on BL Touch, upgraded bed here with a relay. I'm assuming he's meaning AC. It's S4, so he probably has AC. Stock filament sensor, all working pretty well. Will this board not only work, but be a significant improvement over stock 10S4? I was hoping to quiet it down so much. So he was asking us about the easy board. Absolutely. All right, there we go. No, he said he has the upgraded bed here with a solid state relay. That means he's probably running an AC bed. Usually, if you're running an SSR, you have an AC bed. So now I replied to him. I said, absolutely, it's a direct replacement as long as you have a touchscreen on the machine. I'm assuming he doesn't. I think they just made the S5s and some of the 10s with the touchscreen. It'll run smoother overall and be much quieter. The loudest thing on that printer will be the fans at that point. It's a funny thing. A lot of people complain. They're like, man, I swapped the board. Now my fans are loud. You're not wrong. But we also carry replacements for those too. Carry a lot of crap. It's a lot to manage. Do you guys know how many SKUs we have in our system? I don't even know how many SKUs we have. Hang on, let me see. Problem is, I can see how many products I have. And that doesn't tell me all the sub-SKUs. So certain products have certain sub-SKUs. So like our mats, those will have like 6 different sub-SKUs for each size. So just product level, not including the variations, I'm showing 171. I'm going to assume, including variations, we're probably closer to 210, 220 products at this point. It's a lot. It's a lot of products. So yeah, I said I'd wrap the stream around 2 a.m. and it is now past 2 a.m. Those of you guys that won stuff, please email me, tim@ts3dstudio.com, and I will verify who it is. So make sure you guys have a thing to validate who you are, because I can go back and check. So anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys with one of my favorite little videos here, and just want to thank everybody for stopping by. Hope you guys had a good time, and as always, happy printing. And I'm gonna hand it over to Dr. Frank George.
Hi there, Frank George here. As a doctor, I know a thing or two about probing. Indeed I do. I love something that's easy to install, easy to use, and backed by a real support team. And that's why I choose TH3D Easy ABL Kit for my 3D printers. I prefer not to waste countless hours trying to figure out how to connect things to my machine when I could be printing instead. With the TH3D Easy ABL, you get technical support, easy to use firmware, quality parts, amazing accuracy, and there's no moving parts. What are you waiting for? Head over to their site at easyabl.th3dstudio.com and get one today. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy printing. The Easy ABL Kit is meant for 3D printer usage only, not for medical or rectal use.